Hi everyone, my name is Timehin, and today we're going to be sharing a very exciting new product with you all. Sony have now released the 85mm f1.4 G Master version 2. Now the last iteration came out around 8 years ago, so we're very much in need of an upgrade and very excited to put it through its paces. Myself and Tom Oldham will be photographing some models today, but first off, let's go through some of the key specifications. The first thing I noticed when comparing these two lenses is that the predecessor is considerably heavier. Now, this comes in at 820 grams, whilst the Mark II comes in at 642 grams. So when you're shooting handheld exposures, this will definitely come in handy. So right off the bat, the Sony 85mm f1.4 G Master 2 is a full frame FE mount mirrorless lens. Now, this will work with all of your full frame E-mount cameras. It's 3 times faster than the previous version, and the way they've done that is by using a linear XD motor, whereas the last lens had a ring drive SSM motor or a supersonic motor. The reason this is important is that this lens can now keep up with the amazing autofocusing technology that we're seeing in Sony camera bodies, whereas the predecessor is a little bit old, it might not be as compatible, so now they've done a great refresh and it can keep up to speed. Not only that, but the autofocusing system is a lot quieter, which makes it really useful when you're doing intimate portrait sessions.
Detail on the hairs, the eyelashes, and the fall-off's beautiful. Love that. Straight out the camera. I'm so pleasantly surprised with the lens. It makes it really easy, taking away all of the faffing and consideration, and it just lets the ideas just flow. You can get straight on with the job, and this is straight out the box as well, so it's like clean, fast, light, sharp as hell. Those are the things we want, right?
Not only will it be up to date with the camera bodies now, but you're also sort of future-proofed because it's going to work with future releases of camera bodies that Sony put out. It is also a lot sharper from edge to edge, and you can really notice the difference when you're shooting wide open at f1.4. The aperture range is from f1.4 to f16. It has a declickable aperture ring, 14 elements in 11 groups, whereas the last lens had 11 elements in 8 groups. Which is quite strange because you would think that the new lens would be heavier, but clearly they've got a mad scientist behind this. Because of the advancements in the extreme aspherical elements, we notice a much smoother bokeh result, and you'll definitely see that in the results today. The nano coating on this lens has also been improved, and they've updated it to the second iteration, meaning that when you're shooting with this lens, you'll have less reflection and less glare. The dust and moisture resistance has also been improved, and I think that, coupled with its new lightweight form factor, actually makes it a viable option for travel.
Definitely the first thing from picking it up is the rapidity of the autofocus. So it's locking in, and as a portrait photographer, you just want as few obstacles in between you and your subject as possible, right? And for me, it just like to not be fiddling and faffing trying to make it work is really key with every bit of kit that I use. So to have something that's just locking in and doing the thing it's supposed to do so effectively and quickly, just loosens the process and makes it just so much easier and faster and more dynamic, which is exactly what I need from a bit of kit. Secondly, I'm really noticing the sharpness, the clarity is insane. And I thought the other one was good, but as always, you get the new one and it just like, oh God, this is really good. So it's gonna be an easy jump, that's for sure. An easy yes from me.
Great, so we've got the 85mm f1.4 Mark II on my A7R5 body at the moment. Now, I think what we should do is test the sharpness wide open. I mentioned earlier that this iteration is a lot sharper than its predecessor, so let's put it to the test. So now we're using the old version, and then we can put the two images side by side just so we can see the actual difference between the sharpness and the bokeh. So another thing that I've noticed is the weight. I mean, it's night and day compared to the old one. And I think when you are using a lens like this for a long period of time, it is definitely more forgiving. So yeah, amazing upgrade. One thing I love about this lens, especially when shooting wide open, is just the separation you get between the subject and the background. It's really, really lovely. And you can definitely tell the bokeh is a lot smoother compared to the last lens as well. So what do you think of the lens?
For me, it's essential anyway. For my job, I've got to have this. And I have this one sort of state of mind with using the best possible kit I can get my hands on. And this is the best portrait lens that Sony make. So I've got to have it.
And compared to the last generation?
Well, it's lighter, faster, it's got more elements.
I mean, it's just a massive improvement, I think.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is just how fluid the whole process is when you're shooting. It doesn't feel like you're fighting against misfocus or any of the other complexities that happen, I guess.
Yeah. And we want less interface between ourselves and our subjects constantly. So the fact that it's straight out the box, fast as hell, like that's what we need it to do.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. The 85mm f1.4 Mark II is available to purchase on the 28th of August 2024. The price comes in at $1849, which I know a lot of you at home might be thinking that's a steep price, but I think when you are purchasing the G Master series, you are really getting that premium quality and also the ecosystem that works within the Sony family. So definitely a good investment in my opinion. Catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.